Right, boys. I thought to stay in the relevance, we should do something relating to the FIFA Ultimate Team of the Year. They put out the nominations, and we're allowed to vote now to what we perceive as our Team of the Year. What we'll do is, because obviously they don't do it right now, but in the later part of Team of the Year, they'll put a 12th man in for someone who's missing, who you really want to put in. But for now, we'll stick to 1 goalie, 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 attackers. Doesn't really matter if it doesn't work as a team, so you can be 3 strikers if you want, it can be 3 wingers if you want. Doesn't really matter as long as it is the defenders, the midfielders, and the strikers of what they perceive those attackers to be. But yeah, let's get started, boys.
I only play Pro Evo Soccer at 12.
You don't, Jack. I do know that you and me are the only people who play FIFA Ultimate Team here. Ellis does not, but I assume he can input here on this conversation of who is the best players in the world.
FIFA Ultimate Team.
Right.
I do like football.
So, here we've got our goalies. Only 1 goalie available, obviously. Please do not put Martinez in. I know he's had a good season, but he has not had a good season compared to everyone else. So, Ellis, Jack, who have you put in, and why is it Martinez?
El, you can go first.
I did Mendy.
Oh, fair, yeah.
I also did Mendy.
I did not. I put my nan in. Just because I think...
Excuse me?
I put my nan in? My nan?
You put your nan in goal?
I put my nan in goal, yeah. He's a big bloke who plays for AC Milan.
I mean, to be fair, El, I have heard that Sam's nan does have very big hands.
And she's an excellent goalkeeper. I've heard of that as well.
Yeah, she's French as well. Which is the most surprising part of all that, I felt.
Samuel Johnson.
But I felt it was my nan just because I think for what Lille did with that and dethroning PSG, which is a very hard task in its own right. And obviously he's gone to AC Milan now for decent money and done very well in the Italian league as well. So he's done it in 2 leagues. Dethroned PSG, which I think is more of an achievement than necessarily some of the other goalies on this. So, for example, Argentina winning the Copa America, I don't think is as big an achievement as Lille winning that Liga title, which I think is more to do with my nan than I think Martinez had to do with that Copa America win.
Every time you say it.
This is my nan. I don't even know how you say it. Say my nan.
But if I'm outvoted, we'll go for Mendy. Ellis, why do you want Mendy in the team?
Because he's just good, isn't he? He's been like Chelsea for a few years have struggled, I think, to get a decent goalkeeper in. And when they brought him in, was it in January or the summer, or last summer of 2020?
Summer. It was the summer.
Yeah. So he's just been he started off a bit shaky, I think, but then I guess the second half of last season he was really good. And why are you putting your hand up?
Because I wanted to speak. And
so
I was waiting for you to finish.
I could have just finished. You could have talked. But yeah, he's good. He was integral really to Chelsea's Champions League winning performance. They kept so many clean sheets, especially towards the end of last season when Tuchel came in. And yeah, he's just been really, really very good.
I think as well,
very many unlikely saves.
After Jose Sarr and Aaron Ramsdale, I believe he has the best XG prevented in the league as well for the Premier League this season, which is quite an obviously achievement. And especially since he's doing the Champions League as well, he obviously dethrones those 2 goalkeepers in terms of the entire year, I believe, because obviously Jose Sarr was in the Greek league, wasn't really the thing, might have been doing well in the Greek league, but it doesn't really mean a lot. Then Aaron Ramsdale was obviously really struggling with Sheffield United. So yeah, I think Mendy's a good choice, even if I would have gone for mine instead. Jack, why do you want Mendy? Let's be brief here, and you can talk about defenders a lot.
Okay. That's not actually what I was going to say. I hate to burst the Mainan bubble, but it's actually pronounced Manuel.
I prefer my nan, so we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it my nan.
I prefer your nan as well.
Mendy's just been, he cost a fraction of the price that Kepa did, and I'd say he's probably been the best keeper in the league. In the last 12 months, I think.
Yeah.
He's just very solid for the. Ederson cost 60 million. Alisson cost 80 million. Mendy, was he 20, 30 million?
And you forget that you replaced Kepa, who was about 70 million's worth of player, and Kepa's been awful for that price, for any price really, to be at Chelsea. But yeah, I think Mendy's a good choice. But
and also he won the Champions League, so
yeah, exactly. I don't want to put necessarily trophy bias into it too much, which obviously does play a part. But there are because you've got a lot in the Euros. But let's go on to defenders. Now, I'm going to put in a player that I think we've all got, but depending when you put him at left back or right back. I've got João Cancelo on my team. Do you both have him?
I put him on the right wing, but No, I didn't. I put him right. I put him right.
I mean, it definitely doesn't let you put it on the right wing.
I'm a silly sausage. What am I like?
Yeah, I think João Cancelo, I think he's played on both right back and left back. He's been probably the best full back in the Premier League. There's a lot of Premier League bias here, but with the rest of my back four, I think I've gone away from that. But yeah, I think he's been the best full back in the league, one of the best full backs in the world.
I'm not sure about that claim, Sam. Did you see Matt Target last night against Man United?
Yeah, I did, and I believe you lost 1-0.
It's unfortunate that he's not one of the options, Jack, because I would have picked Target if you had on there, but apparently not. No, I agree, Sam. João Cancelo, he's been very, very good, and he's scored and assisted and kept all the clean sheets, and yeah.
He's good for attacking. Obviously, Man City team attack on end, but I think he's been good as a fullback to attack as well, which is quite a unique bit for a fullback, especially having goals rather than just assists as well. Who else are you adding to this, Alice?
Well, I'm going to stick with Man City and have Ruben Diaz in there.
Yeah,
because he's been unreal this season and last season. Just so consistent and so good. And he joined last summer from Porto, I want to say, or Benfica, to Man City, and now he's Man City captain more often than not. So. Yeah, cracking. I think just so good.
A lot of Man City Chelsea bars. Obviously, they were the two Champions League finals. So you would expect this. I will tell you one I have put in that I believe might be a bit not necessarily left field, because I think they probably deserve to be there based on the fact they won the Euros. But I've put Chiellini in as my other centre back.
See, for me, it was between two, and I went for the other one. I went for Bonucci.
I also went for Bonucci. Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking Chiellini. He was good in the Euros, but I don't think he played as much as Bonucci, and Bonucci was just a bit better, I think.
From those two centre backs, what I remember most of the Euros was just Chiellini's complete disregard for everyone. I remember in that was it the penalty shootout with Spain where he picked up Azpilicueta and completely got in his head.
Yeah.
I just loved Chiellini for that entire contest. Obviously not at the end for England's expense. But
chopping down, pulling back.
Yeah, exactly. But they knew what they wanted to do, and once you take away the distance from it being England, the fact it was England they were fucking over, it was completely brilliant game management on their part, and just they very much deserved it. And I think in that game after that Shaw goal, we completely sat back again, and it was very little chances. I think it was better than the Croatia game, where we did sit back completely, but we still sat back compared to Italy, and Italy probably just, once they got that goal back, I didn't expect it to go anyway. Surprised it go to pens, but I think because of Italy winning that Euros, I think they deserve to have a defender in here, and I don't mind if it's Chiellini or Bonucci. But we'll go Bonucci, given you one on there.
I think we were both missing a very important reason as to why Bonucci has to go into the team of the year team, and it's because if you didn't know who he was, you would think that he was a very you'd think that he was a very obscure type of pasta.
Yeah.
Perfect. Or just a normal Italian person.
Right. Left back I found a bit...
does not sound like a pasta. A Bonucci, if you were to have a Bonucci bolognese, that does not sound completely unrealistic. A Chiellini bolognese sounds a bit mad. A Bonucci bolognese does not sound completely unreasonable. Anyway,
let's move on.
Moving on, I wavered about what my left back was going to be.
My best friend's from Italy.
Oh my god! Shut up.
I wavered left back. I wavered a lot, and I think I did put João Cancelo a lot of this time was at left back, and I did put Trent at right back because I still think Trent's probably the best right back in the world at the moment. I don't with João Cancelo, but obviously João Cancelo goes between left back and right back, and I did put Trent there. But given I did put João Cancelo because I think he's better on the right at the end, I did put, and there's a lot of Premier League bias in here, but I did put Luke Shaw there, even though he has declined.
That is nonsense.
I did that too, and I know he's not had the great season, not even a good season this season. He's been shocking, really. But at the end of last season, I mostly put him in for the goal in the Euros final. I was between him and Hernandez, I think, Theo Hernandez.
There was a goal he scored for Man United where he ran like the length of the pitch. That's like the one thing I remember him doing. He only did score the final, didn't he? To be fair, I don't really remember the final because we got quite drunk that night.
The thing is, it was going. He's not done as well this season. I think that's down to Man United just not doing as well either. But last season, we were talking about him being the best left back in the world, and he was genuinely just reinvigorated the fact that Alex Telles was brought in to replace him, and he took nothing from that and went, I'm just going to be the best left back at this club now, and obviously made him a shoe-in for the Euros when Chilwell had been bought literally that season for 60 million for Chelsea. So I think he just went against all odds and completely just spanked everything out. And I think if necessarily I was putting João Cancelo at left back, I would have put Trent there. But as left backs go, I think he's the best one of those available.
If we are going to cast our mind back to the Euros, then my choice, and I know I've already been outvoted. I think at the time before his injury, genuinely was the best left back at the tournament, which was Spinazzola.
Yeah, Spinazzola.
Spinazzola, I think especially over here, he did not have big name recognition. I don't think people really knew much about him unless they were into Italian football. And he he just appeared. He was their starting left back, and he tore. He was just brilliant, game in, game out. As an attacking wing back, he was superb, and he was one of the nominees for Player of the Tournament, I think.
He was, yeah, and he probably deserved it. I think he did. Did he get left back, or was it Shaw who got the left back because he just played more games? But I just think Spinazzola hasn't done as well in the league, and obviously Roma have been really struggling this season.
He's been injured most of us, hasn't he?
I think so. I think he's starting to come back now, but I believe even in the season before the Euros.
Explain why he's not really been at his high standard for this season, because he's not played for most, if not all.
But surely to be in a team of the year.
Is a reason.
So what you're doing, you're penalising Spinazzola for not being a very good left back because he can't play because he is injured.
Yeah, but you can't put a player who's team of the year when he's not played in the year that much. It's like, you can't say Van Dijk could be the best defender in the world, but if he hasn't played for 8 months, you can't really consider him to be the part of the best of the year, because it's supposed to be over the course of a year. Considering
the argument is between Shaw, who's been crap for half of the year, and Spinazzola, who's been injured for half of the year, I think we should go back to Matt Targett.
not in these options.
He's played the whole year, and he's probably been better than Shaw.
Let's put Chris Gunter at left back for no reason. Come on.
Chris Gunter.
Chris Gunter for Freiburg. Yeah, I think you're outvoted here, Jack, and I think we are going Luke Shaw.
I know. So do you want to swap João and Trent round?
Oh, yeah. Let's do that. And then we'll put Trent in.
Put Gunter right back.
What? How have we made this decision?
Jack and me have agreed, so I think Jack is a left back now.
Me and you agreed first. That's the hardest one.
Okay, I'd like to say I don't agree. I'm making the most of a bad situation.
So, let's move on to midfielders. Jorginho's been talked a lot, and I think he was very high up in the Ballon d'Or honours. He's not in my team. Is he in any of your teams?
No, he's shit.
Yeah, he's not good. I wouldn't say bad.
League and the Euros.
I wouldn't say bad, but then I don't.
He had the best year of any footballer.
No.
Yeah, but it wasn't down to him.
I don't think he was the best. He wasn't the best player in that Champions League team. He wasn't the best midfielder in that Chelsea team. He wasn't the best midfielder in that Italian team. He was completely outclassed by Barella and Kante.
I must say, those two players are both in my midfield.
Barella,
you just mentioned.
Barella and Kante, yeah, because they outperformed Jorginho in both of those competitions. The only reason Jorginho has been given this higher status this season, and he did have a good season. I'm not denying he had a good season. He had a really good season, but not with the pittance and them. He's only had it because he's Italian, and they got to the final of the Euros, and he plays for Chelsea. He's not the best midfielder in that Chelsea team. He's not the best midfielder in that Italy team. So I literally have the same as Ellis. I've gone Kante and I've gone Barella.
Yep.
Because Barella was the best midfielder during the entire Euros, I believe. I think he was just about in front of.
Neither of them are Barella.
You've done what? Sorry.
I've gone for 2 Italian midfielders and neither of them are Barella.
Have you gone for Verratti? Verratti and Jorginho?
No, I went for Jorginho and Locatelli.
I thought. I think Locatelli's not really done much at Juventus either. This is the thing where I want them to be actually decent at club level as well, rather than just Euros.
I mean, to be fair, Juventus as a whole have just been a car crash.
Yeah.
Ever since Pirlo came in and then was gotten rid of, and they've brought back Boldalicious, haven't they? They're still Allegri. Is it Allegri they brought back?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not Boldalicious, is he? No, I'm thinking of someone else. Ever since Pirlo came in, they got rid of him. Allegri's come in. They're still just a car crash. But Locatelli was another dark horse of the Euro.
He was a super sub, wasn't he?
But he was brilliant, and he earned that move through the Euros. I mean, where was he at? Was he Sassuolo?
Yes. Sassuolo.
No, I think he went before the Euros. I think he signed something.
Maybe it was a pre-contract agreement beforehand, and they'd already signed it. Yeah, he was already going to Juventus, but I think he'd done well for Salah, but I don't think he's necessarily on the level of Kante, who's just been exceptional this season. He was a key part of that Champions League run, so than Jorginho. Not to say Jorginho didn't. I don't want to fall into the trap that it's me saying Jorginho's crap. He's been really good this season, but I just think there's been better options, and people levitate towards Jorginho because of the trophies rather than his actual performances. Where I think gravitate towards.
That's I was thinking when you said that, that doesn't sound right. It's just loads of people like, oh,
but Jack,
floating towards
Jorginho. So I was thinking it was, when you see in cartoons and you see a pie on the windowsill. And then you see a cartoon person kind of just sniffing the aroma and kind of just like levitating.
It's like smelling a pie in a cartoon. Well, Jack, given we're going to ignore your 2 Italians because 1 Italian midfielder is enough. Who is your third player?
My third player is Jude Bellingham.
Ooh, that's a little bit left field. I wouldn't say he's good enough yet to have been in there. I don't think he's done very well for Dortmund. I just think there are potentially better options.
The fact that he's 18 and he's now a first choice player for Borussia Dortmund, and the fact that he scores goals and he is genuinely a key cog in their system is amazing. It
is, but so's Haaland, so's Gio Reyna. So there's a lot of young players in that Dortmund side who do start for them on a regular basis.
One of those players that you mentioned, I've also selected. So what's your point?
I just don't think he's ready yet, and I don't think the performance will quite match that. I just think there are players who are at the peak of their talent who are doing better at Bellingham. Not say he's not doing well for his age. He is doing exceptional for his age. And if there was a team of the year for teenagers, he would obviously be the first player in there. But I think
the TT of the year, the teenage team of the year.
The TTT of the year. But I think he's not there yet, but he will be in a few years' time because he's just going to continue developing, continuing better. In mine, I went between 3 players. I went between KDB, because obviously, Foden and Declan Rice. And Son, actually, as well. I went for Son's listed as a midfielder.
That Premier League bias, Jesus.
Ellis, who have you put in that you think should have a...
I was stuck between 2. One of them was Declan Rice. But the one I actually put in was Pedri. Because he's played 400 games in the last 12 months and has been really good in all of them. So,
which is impressive because he's just turned 10.
Exactly. So I thought he's knackered himself out. He's tried really hard. He was part of a pretty good Spanish team, one of their best players in the Euros. He's been one of Barcelona's best players, despite them being a bit crap in the last 12 months. And I just think he deserves.
Yeah, I think it's just because he's played a lot of games. I don't necessarily think he's been good. Like, all these players have been good. But I don't necessarily think he's been exceptional outside of playing a lot of stuff and just wearing himself thin. I think there are...
choices are...
I think...
Go
on. What?
Fine. Go on. If you must speak, then you can speak. Fine.
Well, I think in the end I will go for Declan Rice just because I think what West Ham have done this season have been exceptional, even though they've fallen off of it now.
Yeah, the guy with the mouse and the cursor has all the power.
Who would you go for, Jack?
I also mentioned Rice.
Who have you gone for, Jack? Who would you go for?
I'd go for Spinazzola.
No! Who are you going for in midfield other than Declan Rice? Or do you want Declan Rice in that midfield?
Do you know what? Yeah, just Declan Rice is fair enough. He's had an amazing year.
So I do find it fascinating that they consider Rice to be Son to be a midfielder, which is a bit exceptional. But anyway, we'll move on to attackers. Now, Jack, who is your first attacker you think is the most odds-on to be in there?
I have 2 that I think are odds-on to be there.
Name one of them.
I'll go with I think probably the most obvious one, which is Erling Haaland.
Oh, okay, that was not the one I was going to go for. Erling Haaland.
Definitely not the most obvious one.
I don't think it was the most obvious one. Like, exceptional player, like, brilliant player. But I don't think he's necessarily been the best striker in the league, because I've put Lewandowski in.
Well, I've put both of them in.
Ooh. Oh. Little bit of a Bundesliga bias, are we?
Classic as Bundesliga.
Jack, why have you put... So you haven't put Lewandowski?
No.
Why Haaland over Lewandowski then?
I put Haaland because I'm pretty sure he scored 50 goals in like 3 games. The dude just exudes goals. Like he wakes up, he brushes his teeth, he empties his pajama pockets, and it's like there's just 2 goals in there. You know, he goes downstairs, he opens his cupboard, he puts his cereal in his bowl, and with the cereal, there's just a few goals come out. He just wherever he goes, he just scores goals. The dude is a goal machine, and he is like 7. And
yeah.
he's not human. He is, and this is the nicest it's the nicest way I think anyone has ever called anyone this. He is a freak of nature. The dude is not human. He is just alien. But
then
the dude's insane.
But then Haaland's got 13 goals this season in the Bundesliga. Lewandowski's got 20. It's just...
Has anyone actually ever seen Haaland bleed human blood and not just like oil? I think he's a robot. I'm convinced.
Well, then, if Haaland's a robot, then I think Lewandowski must be sentient god, because it's just exceptional the Lewandowski numbers that he puts up. He should have won the Ballon d'Or last season, even though
it's like, you know, in Terminator when the new model fights the old one, and the new one like gets like chopped in half, but they both grow into 2 separate Terminators.
Yeah,
it's like that. Haaland's the new model, and Lewandowski's the old Terminator model.
But the old model's still getting more goals.
To be fair, the old model is playing in a Bayern team.
The old model wins, doesn't it? So, you know, kind of works.
Yeah, I think...
Lewandowski's playing for Bayern, who are just really good. I mean, yeah, Dortmund are very good, but Bayern is on a different level, especially in Germany.
Exactly. If I was a striker for Bayern, I'd be scoring those goals.
Sure.
Well, I can tell you I didn't put Haaland on my team. I put Lewandowski. On the other side, I put Salah.
Yeah.
Just because I think Salah's been exceptional, especially I think it's more of a recency bias, because I think last season he was obviously really good. He's been good every season. He's been back in the Premier League. But just the way he's turned it on this season has just become exceptional. If this would have been 3 months earlier, I would have put Kane in instead of Lewandowski even, because he just had that exceptional way. He got the Golden Boot, he got the assist trophy as well for most assists. He was exceptional, but now he's just fallen off. It's since that transfer transfer fiascos in the summer. So I didn't put him in the team in the end. Haaland I've not put in. And instead of Haaland, I did put another striker. And I was wearing between Mbappe and Messi. But I did end up putting Messi in as my 3rd player.
But why?
Because he's the damn squibs that's going to be PSG.
I know, but also Messi's still probably one of the best players in the world. I do think he's completely ended his career by going there and getting 1 goal in Liga, but for that Barcelona team who was struggling completely, and it shows more now that how much he was carrying that Barcelona team last season was how badly they are doing now, like how exceptionally badly they're doing now. I think in like 7th or something like that. They're literally barely hitting Europa Conference qualification. So the fact that he left and they got dumped so hard shows how important he was to that system. And I think that overcomes a lot of what he has done this season. And bear in mind, it's not just in the Champions League he's been exceptional. It's just in the league where he's just not been playing games because it's Liga and who cares and whatever. And you can make a lot of jokes about him stat padding to go to Liga and they're not doing anything. But I still think he's one of the best players in the world, man. I just think comparatively still. But if you don't have Messi, who would you have in there? Jack.
I was going to say my 3 forward players were Salah, Haaland, and someone as a complete left field, but his name's become a bit more in the news recently, which is Lorenzo Insigne.
What? Because he's going to the MLS.
I mean, to be fair, he probably was Italy's best attacking player of the Euros. And he has also become the highest paid MLS player of all time, or well over doubling Ibrahimovic's. I think Ibra was on like 7.8.
Yeah,
and is now on 15 million a year.
Yeah, 5-year deal at Toronto. So I think he's going there at 30, which obviously still probably has a few good years in him, but you're getting that sort of money, and you've done basically everything you can in Italy. I think necessarily you don't feel bad upon him to do that. I just don't think he's necessarily team of the year material. And I would far more have a Messi and Mbappe or Ronaldo in there.
In fairness, one of my criteria for team of the year is how much are they paid.
Oh well, it's a very well paid starting
Well,
lineup.
that's stupid because Ousmane Dembele still played fucking loads. He's not in this voting.
Exactly, that's why he's not been picked.
Ellis, who would you have as your third choice then?
Well, my three have already been covered. I had Haaland, Lewandowski, and Salah.
Oh, you did have Haaland. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you want to put Haaland back in there?
Yeah, Haaland, Lewandowski, Salah. We'll have that because both you want Haaland in, so we'll both have them. And I think we've all put Salah in, and we've all put two of us put Lewandowski in. So I think that makes the most sense. Which changes up my 12th man because my 12th man was something different when I had Messi in the team, but we'll sort about that now. Mm-hmm. So that would be our team.
Yeah.
In the end, I think there's a lot of Premier League bias. How many Premier League players are there? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, 2 Italians and 2 Bundesliga players, completely stuffing La Liga, and that's it. But I think it's still a decent team, and I think you'd be hard pressed to say anyone outrightly did better than anyone in that 11.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sure.
But let's move on to later in Team of the Year when they want to sell more packs, they will release a 12th man who's voted for. Out of all the people that we've missed out on today, who would you consider to be your 12th man?
I mean, it is important to acknowledge that the 12th man should always be the fans.
Yes.
Shut
okay.
up,
who is your 12th player who should be representative of the 12th man?
Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish.
It's not Jack Grealish.
Jack Grealish.
He is there.
He pulled England to the Euros final through individual performances. He is the record English transfer from one Premier League club to another.
I'm pretty sure he came on most of those games and did fuck all.
I know what you mean. And he's currently on my jumper.
Big Man City fan here.
Yeah, it's in a Villa kit. It's an old jumper, but I'd still like it.
Jack Grealish. I don't know. I know Judas Grealish. I don't know anyone else. But I don't know anyone by any other name. No. Okay. So I think my 12th man is probably better than your 12th man in terms of the whole year. My 12th man is Dusan Vlahovic.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Fair. Florentina.
If you're going to M&S to buy Haaland, then you're going to Aldi to buy Vlahovic.
So you're saying
he's just as good. He scores just as many goals, but he's probably so much more cheaper than Haaland will end up going for. Like this is another player who's he's very young. He's proving himself in a top 5 league. It's another player who pulls his cereal and there's just goals there. He looks under his sink. He tries to find some bleach because he's in his loo. He pours down the loo. What is he pouring? He's pouring goals down there.
I can't stress this enough, Jack. Shut up.
Ellis, let's move on. Who is your 12th player? Who is your 12th player, Ellis? Was he actually Grealish?
Honestly, I couldn't think. I forgot to do this bit.
I'll go for mine. Mine was Benzema. Karim Benzema, the man who filled the void, the Cristiano Ronaldo filled void at Real Madrid. And he's doing, exceptionally this season. I think 17 goals.
You mean Captain Blackmail?
Yeah, Captain Blackmail, but this is on footballing talent, not on how he can blackmail his teammates. If it was, he'd be in every team in the year from here on in.
Actually, you know what? I think I've decided who should be the 12th man.
Who?
Your nan.
My nan.
Your nan, yeah.
Then Young.
Where is he?
Sam's nan is officially the 12th man of our team of the year.
Can I put him as striker? I can't. But yeah, I think they're all decent choices, and I think that will be the options potentially. Not Vlahovic. I'm going to ignore that completely. But yeah, we'll put Lewandowski back in, and that will be our 11 for the team of the year voting for the FIFA Ultimate Team. Probably how many players are likely to be in there? Probably João Cancelo, Ruben Diaz, Kante, Barella maybe, Lewandowski definitely, and Salah definitely, and Trent probably maybe as well.
I'd say Mendy too.
I think Mendy might be up in the air. I think Donnarumma probably will nick it in the end.
Yeah.
Because it's
FIFA 22. Also, EA, please sponsor our videos.
Please give me packs and please don't let my account be hacked. I put a lot of money in there.
I don't even have the game.
Please buy Ellis the game. That was a cry for help. But anyway,
Next Friday, I'll be playing it on a brand spanking new PlayStation 5.
ooh,
Which is available in our giveaway.
What?
Whoa, you're not giving mine away.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like Jack's brand new PlayStation 5 being given away on the Premier
If you
News
want
channel.
to win 4 Lindt chocolates that are at the bottom of this box,
You want to win what is left of my croissant.
please give us £1 entry and you might win these Lindts. Money making pyramid scheme. Everyone tell your friends. But anyway, thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. And listen to the pod, which we're recording next. So thank you and good night, boys.